up, guys? I'm going to tell you a story about a poker game I had in Vegas last week, and I will use this entire deck of cards to illustrate the story. First, let's shuffle the deck, and I'll give it a few honest cuts so that you know I'm playing with a live deck here. Perfect. So, as mentioned, I was in Vegas at the Bellagio when I spotted two redheads, and sitting right next to them were their two other friends, two brunettes. We began talking, and they asked me for my name, and I told them that in the pits they call me Jack the Magician. After a while, one of the girls whispered about a private home game, real underground stuff, over at 673 King Street. They said the buy-in was only $25, and I told them, at this point I told them I've spent more than $25 on bad cocktails. Mid-session, my phone rings, and I go to answer it, and it's my brother Johnny. He asked me what I'm doing tonight, and I told him about the private poker party on 700 and something King Streets. Well, one of the girls overheard me, and she said, no, the party, it's on 673 King Street. And I told my brother, my bad, Johnny, that's right, the poker party, it's on 673 King Street, with the coverage, with a buy-in of only $25. At this point, Johnny tells me that he's light on cash, and I told him, don't worry, brother, I got an extra 40 for your stack. So I gave him 40 bucks for his stack. So I hung up the phone, and I left the table to go pick up my brother. We meet up, and we head for the house. When we get there, we walk in. The room is thick with smoke, and one of the girls spots us and shouts, "Hey, Jack, you're just in time for the new orbit. We saved you a seat." I take the deck to deal the first hand, but before I did, I offer them to cut the deck a few times. So they cut the deck just to make it fair and professional. Then I started peeling off the cards. So I dealt the first girl 2 4s and 3 8s, which was a boat or a full house. She's already reaching for her chips, thinking that the boat is going to sail her home. To the next girl, I gave her a 4 and 4 9s, which was a quad of 9. The table goes dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. The odds of a full house running into quads are astronomical. She thinks that she's got the stone cold nuts. She's already calling her travel agent for a vacation. And lastly, I dealt the last villain an 8 and 4 aces. A quad of rockets, the absolute nuts. At this point, the pot is bloated. She looks at me. She starts pulling the chips towards her, and she says, "Sorry, Jack, I guess your magic ran out tonight." I looked at her, and I smiled, and I said, "That's the thing about poker. You can play the best hand of your life, but if you're sitting at a table with the magician, you're still drawing dead." I didn't have the quads, and I didn't have a boat. I had the only hand in the deck that could crack those aces. A straight flush. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you should never, ever play poker with a magician. Hope y'all enjoy that. Thanks for watching. Peace.